Welcome to My Worst Audition.
This is My Worst Audition,
Yes.
and I know what you had me perform in, the short, which was, and forgive me, I'm blanking on the title now.
Final Callback.
Final
Yes.
Callback was a story where you wanted to take one of your audition experiences and kind of turn it into your own production, and you were gracious enough to let me perform in that as well. So I know you have some stories for me.
You were fantastic. You brought the whole thing together. You were playing, let's see, I guess I swapped the genders and wrote the short for this amazing actress, Mirai. And the real story is that I went into audition for the lead in a kind of like schlocky B horror subversive feature film production company that's kind of well known in that circle. Don't want to call them out explicitly, but it was weird. First of all, just going into that world, it was cool. They had all those props and weird posters, and it was kind of a dingy area in a certain borough of New York that might also be known for that company. But I go in and I do actually a monologue from Blue Valentine, maybe. I was really forcing the Ryan Gosling thing. I don't really have a lot of monologues prepped. I don't have a lot of formal training, so I just went to a movie that I liked. And Blue Valentine, definitely not the tone of that feature, but they liked me. And I think I did it again. I can't remember if there was 2 or 3 callbacks. Fast forwarding. Anyway, I'm in a final callback for this, kind of what do you call it? Like an exploitation feature? Man, I don't know I'm not sure.
I know blaxploitation. I don't know if there is any type of other exploitation.
It wasn't that. All right, I'm giving you some editing work here.
It's all good.
Just to kind of sum it up, I don't remember if it was like 2 or 3 callbacks, but I'm in a final callback for this subversive indie feature, and I'm to play the lead. And there is, this director and production company. They're known for some nudity, some weird violence, and the callback was kind of specifically centered around the sex scenes, and what threw me off initially was that we had to change locations for the callback. It wasn't at the production company office, which already I wouldn't necessarily have wanted to do a simulated sex scene at. But it was like a weird temporary spot, like an Airbnb or something like that. And so we're holding in this kitchen, and everybody's a little confused. And I'm there with a bunch of women who were supposed to like plug and play and kind of see who's the best for this sex scene, and the best, like a chemistry read, but a bit weirder. And we get upstairs.
A P&V chemistry read.
I'm telling you, it was weird. And we get upstairs, and there is a blow-up mattress in the corner that we're supposed to. It wasn't great. I hate taking my shirt off, but I mean, at this point, it's like I'm in the best position, right? That I got to take my shirt off. I think maybe my boxers, but they start insisting that the women not only take off their shirts, and I think some kind of like bra if you're comfortable, and pants. But it was just one of those things where it was like, we really would kind of love to see as much as you're willing to put on camera. Like, the director's not here. He's really got to see it. This is how his movies are made. So it really just felt like this weird test with some unspoken pressure.
Okay.
And it just escalated to a point where I was kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? Right? We can cut this out, but one of the actresses is like, I can't take off my pants. Like, I'm on my period. And like, I'm not comfortable. Anyway, I pulled out...
I'm not going to say it. I'm just listening.
I withdrew from the feature and wrote like a huge email saying this is f***ed up, and I don't know why this is how it had to be done. No one gave a fuck. They found another guy to do it, but I kind of channeled the frustration into writing a short where instead of a final callback for a sex scene, it was actually for this very violent scene that you participated in. And I still played with the innuendo a little bit. So, I mean, the idea was it's a violent film for a similar production company. And there's a scene where at the end, the guy has to get penetrated by a knife. And so the casting directors are like, we got to do the penetration scene. And the girl starts taking her clothes off and they're like, what the are you doing? And the other penetration scene, which is when you come in like the sacrificial lamb and they hand her a knife, and to prove her commitment, she's got to penetrate you on camera to make sure that this film will really live up to the director's expectations. So anyway, that was like, that was probably my worst audition, I think. Showing up, not knowing that we'd all have to take our clothes off and pretend to have sex on an air mattress at an Airbnb in Queens. I don't have a lot of others like that.
It seems pretty sketchy.
But, in the end, I found a location that was equally sketchy.
You did.
And I found some ways to work with it. So yeah, that was a fun one that I wrote and directed. I think we had like a day. I appreciate you. It was very stressful. Your part had all the blood and guts and gags and gore. So you were a good sport. You're a really good sport.
Not stressful at all. Really not. I mean, I'm getting paid to show up and play pretend.